when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Monday, 21st October 2024, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Kumbi. Of course, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. It is a beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. We're just coming out of the weekend, and of course, so many activities happening over the weekend. In fact, we had an awesome time at the Blue Food Festival there in Bloody Bay yesterday. So many highlights that we could talk about this morning, but most importantly, we must give God thanks for life. And of course, we're so happy to be coming to you this morning as we bring the information to you about things happening in and around the Tobago. It's always our pleasure, you know, when you join us and when you've chosen us to make us your number one choice for morning show here on the island of Tobago. We have a lovely show lined up for you, and we do hope you could stay with us throughout the entire programming today. But before we get into all the important conversations, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds from Monday, October 21st, 2024. Three young women, Aaliyah Williams, Makeda Fraser, and Patrice Webb, lost their lives in a fatal car accident. The accident occurred last Saturday morning when a Nissan Latio driven by Dejon Duki collided with a Mitsubishi Lancer driven by Kino Kerr. Both vehicles were heavily damaged. Williams, Fraser, and Webb died on the spot, while Duki, Kerr, and another passenger, Ricardo Toussaint, were hospitalized with serious injuries. Road Safety Coordinator Brent Batson noted the national road death toll for 2024 has reached 88, surpassing last year's figure of 85. Up next, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine criticized mothers for contributing to rising crime by not holding their sons accountable and benefiting from illegal activities. Speaking at Tobago's Diwali celebration, Augustine emphasized the need for light or positive values to return to homes and communities to curb crime. He urged Tobagonians to foster a moral environment where crime cannot thrive. However, founder of the NGO Woman of Substance, Onika Maz, criticized Augustine for focusing only on mothers, calling for fathers to also be held accountable. Tobago has recorded 25 murders this year, surpassing last year's total of 14. And finally, today the Senate will commence its debate on the 2024-2025 budget at the Red House in Port of Spain. Finance Minister Colin Imbert presented the $59.7 billion budget to the House of Representatives on September 30th, with the House approving it on October 17th. Since the Senate is not authorized to vote on money bills, the debate will conclude without a committee review or vote. Following the Senate's deliberation, the budget will proceed to President Christine Kangaloo for assent and formal proclamation into law. No House sittings are scheduled for this week. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Bianna, for our news there in 90 seconds. You know, and of course, condolences go out to the deceased in relation to that road traffic fatality happening over the weekend there. But, you know, on a lighter note, and kind of, you know, staying in the safety thing, yes, as we head on into Carnival and all the pre-events that lead up to Carnival, you know, we just want to ensure that patrons are, you know, safe. You practice good safety. If you are drinking, ensure you designate a driver. Ensure that you are aware of your surroundings and that you don't lose all inhibitions. Because you remember the following day you have to go to work, you have to interact with persons, and you don't want to be in a situation where you can't recall the occurrences that happened while you were out enjoying yourself. Primarily to remain safe.
Yes.
Bianna, we had a good time yesterday at the Blue Food Festival.
Yes, it was really enjoyable.
And there were so many people, you know, I'm really looking forward to get a head count, if we can, you know, an estimate as to how many persons came out yesterday to support the festival yesterday, and seeing the transformation as to what it was to what it is now, and the attraction that it is now, you know, bringing in here on the island in terms of tourism, even domestic tourism, you know, tourism from across the waters and far and wide as well. What was the highlight for you, Biana, yesterday?
Right, remember I said that I will really like to taste that dasheen black cake, and I really got to taste it. It's really moist, very tasty. And
you know, it's so amazing how diverse the dasheen is, and the creativity of the persons who, of course, come up with the dishes where dasheen is concerned. My highlight for yesterday, just in case you all were not aware, was speaking with Michael Osuna, the man known as Sugar Aloes. And you know, as I mentioned before, I grew up in a Calypso home. My father used to ensure we sat around that TV on Sunday before Carnival for the March Gras, and we had to listen to all the Calypsos back then, when they used to write Calypsos that had substance and meaning. And you know, Sugar Aloes was always one of my favorites. It was an honor for me to speak with him yesterday. I was actually behaving like a real fangirl, you know, yesterday, but I thank God that I had the opportunity and, you know, to speak with him and to see his vision and how he was able to write such good deliveries.
And you see, he's still going strong, eh?
That's right. I also had the opportunity to interview Lord Nelson as well. Another honor for me as well yesterday evening. So, you know, I thank God for the opportunity to meet these stalwarts here on the island of Tobago, and Trinidad and Tobago representing us internationally. And I do hope that as the festivities continue this week, that, as I mentioned before, people do have a good time, that they appreciate the culture, they appreciate the efforts that goes into these things. You know, I want to commend the team there at Tobago Festivals Commission. Wow, they did an awesome job. You know, when I look at the logistics, Biana, when we got in there and how the place was set up and laid out, you know, I was really impressed. Even when we had rainfall, there was enough space for persons to find shelter, and the show went on. So, you know, kudos to the team there at Tobago Festivals Commission.
And the new word that we learned, what dasheen was also called, taro.
Taro, a new word, a new word that we learned yesterday. You know, so many things happened there yesterday that we can recall, and, you know, be happy that we were a part of it all. Right? But Biana, you know, I really do want you to have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, of course, as we head on into festivities. Whatever you do, be safe and do enjoy. Right? Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout outs. And we join this morning to give God thanks for life with Charles Mackenzie. Charles Mackenzie, aka Rock, is celebrating a birthday today. And Charles, we want to say happy birthday to you. We do pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday today. God's blessings to you. Johnny Sampson is also celebrating a birthday, and we want to say happy birthday to you, Johnny. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that as you enter this new phase and this new chapter, that you enjoy the blessings of Almighty God. And bringing up the birthday list this morning is Melanie Roberts Ratchman. She also is celebrating a birthday. In fact, I think she celebrated over the weekend. So happy birthday to you, Melanie. We do pray that as you enter this new chapter, this new season of your life, that the pages are written beautifully, that you walk in passion in what you are doing, and that you do enjoy a wonderful, wonderful birthday season. So happy birthday to you as well. Happy birthday to you. And of course, for those of you who are celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, whatever celebrations you are having this week or today, even if we don't have your photo, we still join in with you for the celebrations. Of course, we want to say happy birthday, happy anniversary, congratulations. Maybe you had a promotion, maybe you've graduated, whatever it is, we say congratulations to you and happy celebration. And remember to put God first, give God thanks for life, for no man can give life to himself except God gives it to him. It's Monday morning, so you might be wondering what's in my cup. What's in my cup is sponsored by LCJ Delights, and this morning I am drinking ginger moringa tea. Yes, you too can get your teas, you can get your porridge, you can get your flours to make your pancake and your waffles from LCJ Delights. They also produce premium mixed nuts and all things local right here on the island of Tobago. So, Monday morning, who are we speaking with this morning? Of course, when it's Monday morning, we must speak with a representative from the TTPS. And this morning, we speak with Dirk John, Assistant Superintendent of the TTPS this morning, as he brings the weekly updates to us. We also speak with him in relation to safety for Carnival 2024. We're going to have that conversation as well. And then we wrap the conversation off by speaking with Dwayne Edwards. He's an event promoter as we speak about Tequila Sunset. So we do hope that you could stay with us as we bring the information to you, have the discussions with you, and ensure that you're a part of the conversation. Whether you're viewing on our Facebook live stream, on our YouTube channel, or on Amplia 102, we say thank you so much for choosing us. Whether you're right here in Tobago, in Trinidad, the Caribbean region, the United States of America, Canada, the United Kingdom, the continent of Africa, or Asia, or Australia, we say welcome and thank you so much for choosing us, and we do hope you could stay throughout the entire programming this morning. Before we begin conversations this morning, we have to go for a short break, and as we do, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Tobago Carnival is just around the corner, and Bethel Credit Union has you covered. Whether you're prepping for costumes, parties, giveaways, or a staycation, it's all within your reach with our Carnival loan sale. For as little as $900 a month, yes, $900 a month, you can get the funds you need to make this Carnival season unforgettable. At Bethel Credit Union, we're here to make your celebration dreams a reality. Visit us today or call 639-8226 for more information. Normal lending criteria applies, because we see you at BCU.
Are you an architect or draftsman looking to upgrade your skills, or a beginner eager to master essential tools? ReCAD Labs has the solution. Our Revit Architecture Fundamental Tobago course is designed to boost your skills and confidence. Running from October 6th to November 17th, this course includes a live session on November 17th for hands-on learning. Learn from experts in our virtual classroom and stay ahead in the world of architecture. Visit recadlabs.com to enroll now and follow us on social media for updates.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know they better look out below. Cause this is your show. More, live more.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning in studio as we speak with a representative from the TTPS, Assistant Superintendent Dirk John. And of course, when we speak with the TTPS on Mondays, we must get the crime update as it relates to things happening in Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
How are you?
I am well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Good, of course. It's a pleasure to always have conversations with the TTPS so we know where we are in Tobago in terms of as it relates to crime, curbing crime, apprehensions, whatever might be happening. And I want to start off, I know there was a fatality over the weekend.
Yes, unfortunately.
And I want to know, do you have any information? Are the investigations ongoing? What has been happening in that space where that is concerned?
Allow me to express condolences to the family for their loss. Unfortunate again, the situations on the roadway. Some young persons lost their lives. And I know it's very, very heavy on members of the public. All right. If families need some support, they can reach out to the victim support unit, or the victim support unit can reach out to them and have a chat with them. All right. The investigations are ongoing as to the cause of that accident that led to the loss of life. Okay, so it's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing. Okay, well, we hope that you bring some resolve to that so we know what is happening there. And of course, I join with you in expressing condolences to the family of the young ladies. In relation to crime, as you're aware, we had a surge on the island of Tobago. It's quiet these days, and I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
And we'd like to know what's happening in the background, as it relates to what have you been doing, what have you been able to achieve? Because sometimes we only hear when something happens.
Of course.
So it's good to know when you are able to get some type of responses or some kind of activity happening there, whether it's an arrest, a charge was laid, what is happening there. So I'd like to know where we are in terms of those activities with the TTPS.
Of course, of course. There are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, a lot of planning in relation to our operations, because we need to get things right. No operation can be successful unless we have that intelligence, more so the predictive intelligence. Now we are working more aggressively in understanding the needs of members of the public within these specific communities. So let's look at Argyle in particular. We have been able to curb to a high extent those unfortunate shootings that has destabilized that component part of the island. So we have intensified operations more so, foot patrols in those areas, working more, being more grounded, I should say, with members of the public. So we are interacting more to allow that information to flow, that we can identify those gaps to fill. So we have intensified the operations more so that persons who are bent on committing crimes would see us and be deterred and be prevented from doing such. And if we should identify persons who are in possession of illegal arms, we will make the arrest.
And you mentioned there's more foot patrol in the area. You've been able to kind of contain what is happening in the Argyle area. And there was a similar area right in Scarborough, right by the Dutch Fort area there, that was considered, you could call it a hot spot.
Yes.
And so now we've seen that one started to rise up in the Argyle area. What is the strategy, or if you are allowed to say or to give the information, in terms of there are a host of areas that you have to consider. And while I know you can't have intense foot patrol on every square mile of the island, how are we going to be reassured that let's say now that probably the visibility has decreased a little bit in the Dutch Fort area. Is something going to happen there? How long are you going to stay in the Argyle area? Are you going to send troops in other areas to ensure that the crime stays at a contained level or even be eradicated? What is the going forward where that is concerned?
We use more of the crime statistics provided by CAPA as to where these crimes occur. Most likely shootings and homicides. Because we know we can be everywhere at the same time. But we also lean on members of the public reaching out. If there is a particular situation in a community, let us know. At least we can redirect some aspect of the resources to treat with that. You see, it's not a solo effort. We need more multi-agency approach to treat with the situation.
And have you been having the type of interaction? Because I know usually when we have conversations, we talk about if you see something, if you know something, say something.
Yes.
Have you been having that type of communication with the community? Have they been coming out? Have you been seeing more people, reaching out and collaborating with you and saying, hey, this is my community and I want to have a say. I want to ensure that this community is safe. So let me tell you something. I know XYZ, or I've seen irregular movements or activities in the community. Have you been having that kind of communication with them?
Yes, we have had increased calls for service, increased calls to address particular situations. Now, if we have persons moving around with firearms and members of the public do see that, now we have the 999 system and we have the 555 system, 800 tips. Now, if you're looking at anonymity, you can look at the 800 tips or the 555 system. The 999 system is a more rapid response system. If something is happening there and then, and you need that rapid response from the police, so you can use that system. So we've been having more calls coming in as to criminal activity, certain times, certain days, that we look at hot times, and we address it based on the information and evidence that comes to us.
That is commendable, and I want to continue to encourage communities, persons in the community, if you see something, because remember, we all have to live in the same space together. I have to live there, you have to live there, our children and the generations that are coming up. So we want to collaborate with the efforts of the TTPS. In terms of other agencies collaborating with you as well, are there other safety agencies who are, collaborating, strategizing, putting plans in place, saying, okay, if you take east, I take west, or if you, I don't know what the conversation sounds like there, but what is the collaborative effort with the other arms of the protective services?
Well, what I can share with you is that no one entity has all the resources needed. So therefore, it's important that we network. The military is a key stakeholder in that national security umbrella. We have immigration, we have customs. At the end of the day, each has their particular function. But once we understand what the end result ought to be, which is a more safe and secure society, then we more collaborate and sit down and discuss where are we, what do we need to do, and then forge ahead.
All right, and how confident are you now? We have a new sheriff in town on the island of Tobago, if you know, as it were. Right, ACP Subaru is here.
Subaru,
right,
Senior as well.
Right. What is the relationship like in terms of, I know it's probably a new space for him, getting to know the terrain, getting to know the culture, the people, the way we respond to crime and the way we respond to behaviors. What is it like in terms of the planning and sitting and having that open discussion and him getting an understanding of where we are and where we need to be?
ACP Subaru and Senior Sup Eli are grounded individuals, well-seasoned, experienced, and I've worked with them before. They are operationalizing many of the policies that begun before, and they have within their mindset to bring a greater level of peace and stability to the island. They are continuing a lot of good work that began with ACP Hazel and Senior Sup Kirk, and they are exploring all options possible.
Absolutely. And we do hope and we wish them the very best as they continue to work diligently, because Tobago is a beautiful place and we want it to remain that way. We have to go for a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about preparedness for Carnival 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying with us even up until now. We're going to go for a short break, and when we return, we have the conversations. But in the meantime, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Hey! The biggest and sexy.
Now here what's going on. You see this section? It makes me feel to move. You know why? It's called Pina Colada. I like Pina Colada. Oh.
Plead for angels to get them pray for. They really need it too. When you play with
Oh my goodness. And as the name says, it is as creamy as it's sweet.
never wanna leave cause the drinks them running for throw. Cause I really feel a vibe every time I set it right down and up and like this, but it's nothing like this. Not you be like you, for angel me say something and nobody like you. And every single time we touch, you know I never stop.
This is Pina Colada, something nice with a little bit of spice, and of course, not once, but we're gonna do it twice.
Tell a cruise, make the ball. Say whoa.
We are on the road with Pina Colada. Boom, boom.
Attention soldiers, are you ready for the ultimate mission for Tobago Carnival? It's time to gear up for Army Fed Operation Rocks Glow.
I feel like I'm running tongue again. No place like
We're taking the vibes out to the countryside, where a premier cast of live entertainment will be pumping all night long. Army Fed Operation Rocks Glow. Join us on Thursday, 24th October at the Sid Grace Sporting Complex, Roxborough, for the high-energy Wear White Soca Bashment Rocks Glow. Army Fed Tobago. Operation Rocks Glow.
Tell them I can't do even bother calling me. Tell them I can't. I said tell them I can't do even bother calling me. Tell them.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kambi, and we continue conversations this morning in studio, and we speak with Assistant Superintendent Dirk John of the TTPS. Earlier, we spoke about, strategies to implement for crime here on the island of Tobago. But as we're heading on into the Carnival weekend, we want to talk about where we are in terms of being able to manage the crowds, the droves of people that will be here on the island, the risk assessment that was done, and, the things that have been put in place. So where are we now as it relates to providing safety, ensuring safety?
Of course, we do understand that with any climate of crime, people would be concerned to come out, venture out to some of these fetes, enjoy themselves. Now, I could speak to don't do this, don't do that, but I think it's important that we guide persons as to what they are capable of doing in order to ensure a safe result during the carnival period. Now, under the vibrancy and adequacy of our ASP Barrett, our station commanders have propelled greater operations to ensure that each district within the Tobago context is safer. And I must commend them for that, and the team as well. During the carnival period, we've been having pre-operational planning meetings in order to look at potential threats that can disturb or disrupt the festivities. It's important that we run scenarios and have the relevant stakeholders come together to discuss how we can treat with these scenarios. For example, you may look at a riot. How do we contain that? We have laws, but we also need communication and control to treat with things like that. So once people are together as to possible scenarios, eventualities, we then contain based on action taken to allow persons to still enjoy the festivities, but contain the situation. Now, legal notice, and I'll give the number. This is legal notice number 180 of 2024, speaks to the public festivals, Tobago Carnival regulations. And I noticed the first issue was persons appearing dressed in what may be police uniforms, military uniforms, uniforms resembling that of the fire service, special reserve prison service. And we're asking persons, do not do that. I'm going to use that, don't do that. Because to trust one has to understand the climate that you're in. And if you should see persons in police uniform, obviously you're given a direction and you will look to follow it. But if those persons are masquerading as police officers, military officers, prison officers, you are going to be misdirected, if you understand where I'm coming from. Please be mindful that we have identification and badges. Persons can demand to have those things produced. Coming into the events, armed. Let's say someone is a firearm user license holder. It's not wise. You can lodge your firearm at the nearest police station. Also, persons who are armed and intoxicated, it's a criminal offense. Once your thinking allows you to look at a situation, if you anticipate a problem, treat with it. Don't come out into the street, then to treat with it. Make sense? Deal with it home. Look at what you could encounter outside there before you enter into the street. Persons come into feds with jewelry and large sums of money. You're going to present yourself as a target. Come light. Have some support or a body system. Have someone who is strong, who is stable as a driver, as someone who can say, listen, you shouldn't do this. Because if a situation presents itself and you're not cohesive or you're intoxicated, you can feel the brunt of it. Don't walk with lethal weapons. So this particular legal notice will guide persons as to how they should conduct themselves during the eventuality as the carnival comes about. Okay? So we have the pre-planning, the actual operations where you're going to see officers on the streets, military as well, safeguarding where we can the space. After that, we will have our post-operational planning, where we're going to look at our strengths, our weaknesses, and the opportunities that present themselves that we can make things better for the next carnival.
And you know, I'm listening to the advice and the recommendation, which is absolutely necessary and welcomed, especially the times that we're living in. But it is also very unfortunate that I have my bling and I can't wear my bling because somebody wants my bling more than me.
Yes.
It's very, very unfortunate that this is the space and the climate that we're in now. But it's wise counsel, because as you so mentioned, you have to do the scenario in your head. Okay, is this too much?
Yes.
Let me safeguard myself. I want to talk also about parking.
Yes.
When you park to go to events, sometimes you look either for the closest or the most convenient spot.
Yes.
Sometimes you have stuff in your vehicle that is attractive to somebody passing by. So could we go through that aspect of it as well?
Yes. So again, as I mentioned, you got to know where you're going before you leave home. And if you know you're going to a particular, let me say Blue Food, as in yesterday. It's a nice drive, I must say. Nice drive.
Nice scenery, nice views.
I enjoy the view.
Right. Did you stop to take photos?
Some lonely spots.
Before we move on, did you stop to take photos?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Next time. That's right.
You know, but it's a lonely drive at some point in time. And if you're returning during the night time, there are some spots that are darkened. Now, some people park anywhere. They may want to relieve themselves after drinking whole day. And that's an opportunity to be attacked. So we need to be very mindful as to where we are, time and place. You understand? Time and place. So there were parking allocated for persons attending. But again, I understand there were at least 1,000 persons attending the Blue Food. Parking will be restricted. And if persons park along the way, it's going to cause obstructions with the free flow of passage. So again, you got to know where you're going. Try to understand where you can park safely, secure your windows and your doors. Now, I recommend persons have GPS on your vehicles. In the eventuality that the vehicle is taken, you can shut it down, which now causes persons with ill intent to get out of your car and make their way. You understand me? So at the end of the day, secure yourself, secure your property. As the external security professionals, we have a broad-based national security context. So to bring that to bear, we are encouraging persons to take charge of their security, their personal space. It's important.
And in terms of a command, we're talking about Carnival, in terms of a command center for on the day on the road.
There will be.
Right. What kind of services can you access from the command center? I know we had preliminary conversations earlier when we just started the planning, but just a reminder for our viewers as to what they can expect and the type of support they can access at the command center.
Now, our command center is the communication hub in relation to the disseminating and receiving of information as to incidents or the coordinating of efforts on the ground. So the command center is not really for members of the public. It is to coordinate the efforts of the police, military on the ground.
So that they can disperse information.
That's right. But persons, if they have an issue, approach the officers, speak to the officers. People are turned off a lot when they see the uniform or no. They believe there's some level of aggression coming to them. We have a customer service policy that we're very interested in to explore. Officers can speak and they can listen. Okay, but it's human beings you're dealing with. You don't know what's happening sometimes. But approach the officers, explain your situation, and they will guide you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you're confident that the TTPS is positioned to ensure that we have a safe carnival, even the pre-events leading up to the carnival for 2024 here on the island of Tobago.
I'm also confident that if persons play the fool, we will arrest them and take them before the court.
I like your no-nonsense approach, and it's something that is very welcomed because at the end of the day, as I mentioned, the following day you have to go to work. Yes, life goes on after this event, and you want as little disruption or none at all, if possible, where this is concerned. So I want to say kudos to you guys, and I do hope that the collaborative effort with all the other external agencies who are there in your command center, who are on the road with you, protective services, team, or all the others who are joining together. I wish you all the very best. In closing, is there anything else you want to share with our viewers this morning?
I want to reassure members of the public that you still have a very professional body of men and women who are dedicated to doing this job. There are a lot of risks that come to us, and we understand those risks, and we're still asking for support from top to bottom because we need it. We understand that the microscope is on us, rightly so, because we are the primary policing body on this land. But there are some things that we should not condone. We should not condone illegality in homes, crimes against children, crimes against women, crimes against men. We cannot condone these things. And we are going after persons. Now, a couple of nights ago, a fellow police officer was shot dead in Arima, Trinidad. And I'm saying this to these people who are bent on lawlessness. We will find you, and we will bring you before the court. If it is that you don't want to surrender, we will assist you to surrender. It is important that officers understand that their role and function is to preserve life, to protect property. And I'm talking to my officers here. We should not condone these type of things. Do your jobs. Lift the standard. Maintain a high sense of integrity and purpose in what you do. I want those persons who killed that officer to be in custody. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Assistant Superintendent Dirk John of the TTPS, speaking with us this morning, speaking about the crime situation on the island of Tobago and preparedness for October Carnival 2024, and also a reminder to the general public, of course, to be your best self, to abstain from crime and criminal activities, and for the rest of us who are going to, and the rest of you who are going to enjoy the festivities, to remember to preserve your property, to ensure that you go out there and don't be a walking billboard for, any sort of criminal activity there taking place. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations here in studio this morning. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
in the islands. Come true Tobago, come true Tobago. Escape Tobago.
Wanted this all of my life. One place with all of my life. Everything that I need is all on the island. You can come in, stay more than a while. So go catch your friends, bring something, and pack up your bag, let's go. If you're looking elsewhere, na 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 na. If you're going elsewhere, na na na.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Tobago Carnival, Friday, October 25th. Caribbean Vibes presents Tequila Sunset, the all-inclusive premium poolside edition. From the premium drinks to the mouth-watering Caribbean cuisine, this is a must-attend event.
You could be right up in my
Tequila Sunset, the all-inclusive premium poolside edition. All going down at the beautiful Imperial Suites poolside. Your DJs in the mix. Mighty Crush Entertainment, musical mix. Starbright and DJ Echo. Trendsetter Goofy and Jason G Artistry. Caribbean Vibes, Selector Trini and Snoopy, and Foreign Bass. For more info, call 868-475-6218 or New York at 917-561-9742. Tickets are available at Tobago Glass Supply, Scarborough, and Travis KK Stop and Shop Supermarket, Cane and Tobago. Online at Tequila Sunset 2024.frontlineticketing.com and islandetickets.com/events/Tequila Sunset.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. We're just at 7:48 a.m. So if you're making your way to work for 8 o'clock, you have about 12 minutes to get yourself there safely and the children off to school. Remember, you need to get there safely and in one piece. All right, we continue conversations this morning in studio, and we speak right now with Mr. Dwayne Edwards, event promoter on the island of Tobago. We're talking about Tequila Sunset. As you know, we are in the week of Carnival, October Carnival here on the island of Tobago, and so many activities taking place, so many events taking place, and today we're going to talk about this particular one, Tequila Sunset. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Right, it's a pleasure having you here this morning. And as you know, the action is heating up on the island of Tobago. The Carnival Week started off with the Blue Food Festival yesterday. And there's so many activities on the island of Tobago. But today we're talking about your event,
yes,
Tequila Sunset. So tell us all about it, the idea behind it, and what patrons can expect when they come to Tequila Sunset.
Okay, good morning again. Tequila Sunset basically was started 3 years ago, and it was actually started in the backyard in Lescoto, where I was having a cup of tequila in the afternoon time. I said, you know what, this is a good idea to come up with this name. So started then. Basically, is a lot of events for Carnival weekend. On Friday itself, we have like about 8 events, but I will tell the patrons, Tequila Sunset is a no-brainer, because you're getting all-inclusive, which will be unlimited food. And I'll give you some examples, stuff like doubles, hot doubles on the plate. You will be having some gyro pork, some curry corn, some wings, and also just examples of some of the food that you'll be having. Also, the premium drinks, unlimited premium drinks. For example, unlimited Hennessy, unlimited tequila, unlimited vodka, unlimited local drinks, all the rums, all the punching, everything that you want, unlimited. In terms of the party, you have a crazy lineup. The DJs, you have the Mighty Crush from Tobago, you have 3D from Tobago, you have Starbright from Trinidad, you have the Musical Mix and Fernbase from New York, you have myself, you have a lot great artists. We also have a surprise guest that I'm not going to be advertising today, but a surprise artist which is going to be really going to pump up that party on Friday.
And the way you slip yourself in there, just so humbly, when you got me, as a DJ. So I take it that you are a DJ as well, and you kind of spin there on the turntable, yeah?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. A lot of stuff happening there, and I like where the idea for the name came. Having a shot of tequila at sunset, why not brand it and make it a thing?
Yes.
Let's talk about the cost to get in there because of all of these things that you're having.
Yes.
The list of things that you laid out there just a while ago. What is it going to cost for a patron to enter?
Well, it's very, very cheap. It's actually 499 TT or 80 US. And you come in and you get unlimited vibes, unlimited food, unlimited drinks.
Wow. And where is it taking place?
Well, it's taking place in Bonacord, Tobago. And the place is called Imperial Suites. And it's located at Bonacord, Storby Road, Tommy Drive. It's very simple. If you're going towards the airport, as soon as you cross Penny Savers, you're making the first right at the light. And then the first left at the light, and then the first right, and it's right into the drive. We also have free parking, so the parking wouldn't be an issue as well.
Absolutely amazing. You sound like you're very, very excited for this event,
I am.
And as you mentioned, there are lots of events happening. I didn't even realize there were 8 events on Friday, and you're talking about why a patron should choose your event because of the vibe, the food, the drink, and everything. What do you look forward to the most for the Carnival season here on the island of Tobago, as you are here to participate? I'm sure not just in this event alone. What have you been able to participate in? Were you at the Blue Food yesterday, and what are you looking forward to coming up?
Yeah, so yesterday I was at Blue Food. Blue Food was amazing. The food was excellent. The first time I had the sheen pie, I was, wow. I was to go back for a second plate. It was really good. In terms of looking forward to events, I'm looking forward to all events. I'm going to be trying my best to touch all events. For example, like stuff like Hush, the Army Fete, the Cash Show, the Marshall Show, and of course on the road on Sunday. So, we have quite a big list to try to attend.
And how has it been so far in terms of engaging with vendors and ensuring that you have everything ready for your event that is taking place on Friday?
Well, it actually went pretty well. So I spoke to all my vendors months in advance, and I already laid out what we needed, and everything's already taken care of. So it's just for them to come on the day before and get everything prepared and get everything set up, because decor going to be great. And it's a beautiful venue. It's a poolside venue. So people come out, you can dress anyhow you want. You want to dress casual, you want to dress sexy, you come out and just be yourself and have a good time.
Absolutely. And where can we find tickets?
So tickets are available online and frontline for the foreigners, and also for the island, for local people, island tickets. And also locally in Tobago is a Tobago Glass Supply, and also at Travis Hardware in Bonacord. And also they can call my number, which is 479-1348, and I could physically drop off tickets as well.
Okay, absolutely amazing. I do wish you the very, very best. I'm not a carnival person by any means at all, but what I like is the economy. We circulating here on the island of Tobago, and I like it. Creating safe spaces for persons to have fun and to let their hair down. So I do wish you the very, very best. And of course, in wrapping up, is there any additional information you want to share with our viewers this morning, or anybody you want to shout out or say hello to?
Well, I want to say shout out to all my supporters. Also, I want to highlight that in terms of security, it's going to be great. We have a really great team of security team who will make our patrons very safe when they come in. Everyone will research and make sure everybody's okay. And as well, one more time, Tequila Sunset, people, is the party to be at. You can't go wrong. $4.99, unlimited food all night, unlimited premium drinks, unlimited local drinks, unlimited food cuisine. It's going to be great. So I'm going to encourage you guys, come out, have some fun, and let's enjoy Tobago Carnival. Thank you.
All right. So absolutely amazing stuff there, and all the best to you. And I do hope you enjoy the remainder of the Carnival season in a safe an enjoyable space here on the island of Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Dwayne Edwards, event promoter of Tequila Sunset, taking place this Friday, one of the many events here on the island of Tobago for Carnival 2024. If you're going out, remember to stay safe and have a designated driver. That's very, very important. We're going to go for a short break and we're going to come back. Yes, we're going to come back, and we hope that you stay with us. When we come back, we're going to speak with an entertainer, Tobago Chalky. Yes, we're going to speak with him in studio this morning. So we do hope you could stay with us. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us share the live. Share the live. Share the live. We'll be right back.
Tobago Carnival, Friday, October 25th, Caribbean Vibes presents Tequila Sunset, the all-inclusive premium poolside edition. From the premium drinks to the mouth-watering Caribbean cuisine, this is a must-attend event. Tequila Sunset, the all-inclusive premium poolside edition. All going down at the beautiful Imperial Suites poolside. Your DJs in the mix. Mighty Crush Entertainment, musical mix. Starbright and DJ Echo. Trendsetter Goofy and Jason G Artistry, Caribbean Vibes, Selector Trini and Snoopy, and Foreign Bass. For more info, call 868-475-6218 or New York at 917-561-9742. Tickets are available at Tobago Glass Supply, Scarborough, and Travis KK Stop and Shop Supermarket, Cane and Tobago. Online at Tequila Sunset 2024.frontlineticketing.com and islandetickets.com/events/Tequila Sunset.
Don't tell me about work I out on the road today. Don't tell me about work I out on the road today. Don't tell me about work I out on the road today.
Attention soldiers, are you ready for the ultimate mission for Tobago Carnival? It's time to gear up for Army Fed Operation Rocks Glow.
I feel like I'm running tongue again. No place like home.
We're taking the vibes out to the countryside, where a premier cast of live entertainment will be pumping all night long. Army Fed Operation Rocks Glow. Join us on Thursday, 24th October at the Sid Grace Sporting Complex, Roxborough, for the high-energy Wear White Soca Bashment Rocks Glow. Army Fed Tobago. Operation Rocks Glow.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you, of course, for staying with us this morning. We're speaking with Tobago Chalky, finalist for Tuco Tobago Calypso Monarch. Good morning and welcome.
Morning to you, and morning to the
Right. So, you know, this is no strange name for Calypso here on the island of Tobago. We all know Tobago Chalky. You know, we've heard your songs and your deliveries, you know, as a Calypsonian here on the island of Tobago, representing even in Trinidad. And you're a finalist in the Calypso Monarch. I want to talk a little bit about your song this year, your offering this year for the Calypso Monarch taking place there.
Well, first of all, let me say thanks to the judges who understood the Calypso, and you know, I try to change around things a bit so that I wouldn't sing the actual song except on the day of the competition, and that was a chance that you take when you do an audition, and not really bringing out the real song, so that you know you don't let the cat out the bag and things like that. But it was a big risk, because you could falter and flum and get thrown out easily. But you know probably experience, you know, and a little help from your creator, of course, gives you the knack to say things that is favored. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm all the campaigners, all the people who qualified for the finals are people who were there. Some I met in Calypso, singing a long time, and I'm just here to do the work of the people and the work of God.
When is the competition? When can we, patrons want to come out and support you and say, go, Chalky, go? When is the competition taking place?
Well, there are other people that they could say go.
I know, but I know, of course, definitely.
Yeah, it's the 24th of this month, and that's
Thursday. That's Thursday.
And that is my birth date, actually. It's a kind of bittersweet moment for me because I had a death in the family. My brother had passed, and we have the funeral tomorrow.
Condolences to you and the family.
So your head all over the place, and but you have to maintain your composure and try to give the message, as you see it comes.
Absolutely. And of course, condolences to you and the family there, and best wishes to you as you participate in that event come Thursday evening.
Oh, certainly.
We're happy to have you, and we wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for staying with us to the end of the show. This is where we end the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, but it's not where we end our programming. We head on over to GMT, and as we go, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live.
Grief is really about phases. Some days you'll be good, some days you won't. Some days you'll feel on top of the world, and some days you'll feel like, you're in a pit and you can't come out. So I want to encourage people that as they go through phases, to be compassionate towards themselves, to be gentle, and to always reach out, because social support is really what people need to help to bear the weight of this heaviness of loss. Support is what helps a woman, a family, people that are grieving overcome the loss that comes with losing an infant, whether it's miscarriage, stillbirth, or a neonatal death. And so today I'm hoping to help to break the silence, to normalize this. 1 in 4 women would experience some form of infancy or pregnancy loss.
The founder, Makita, is my cousin, and she was very supportive of Hannah Rose and I when we went through our loss in 2022. Even though it's naturally a painful experience for men as well, I think, as a man, it's really hard to fathom how painful of an experience it is for the women and the mothers who go through that experience. And community is extremely important. So the awareness for me, raising the awareness to the organization, is equally as important as the individual help that it gives to the people who go through those experiences.
Having the experience myself, it showed me a depth of pain that I think only others who have really experienced it could really know. And so it's really a healing thing to be able to connect with other people who could relate to the experience.
We know that we cannot be silent anymore. It is time for us to speak. The international theme this year is Together We Care. It is centered on the message that self-care is the most important integral way to show we care. In fact, it is essential if we are going to be able to raise awareness and speak out about pregnancy loss.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
This International Day of Peace reminds us the solutions of cultivating peace are in our hands. Cultivating a culture of peace means replacing division. It means replacing disempowerment. It means replacing despair. And we replace it with justice, with equality, and hope for all mankind. The universal theme this year is cultivating a culture of peace. And one must say that this theme is most fitting for such a time like this. Agreed? Our goal at the Community Mediation Center is to engender a culture of peace throughout our little island, Tobago.
I think it is critical for us to commemorate this day as we move towards building a more diverse and inclusive society. Peace has to be our foundation.
Given the situation where crime is concerned throughout the country, I think celebrating peace, World International Peace Day, is very vital as a reminder to us as a people that we should live in peace and unity and that we should appreciate each other as a people.
Peace is a projection of self. Whatever we think, whatever we feel, it projects peace. Peace is very important at this time in Tobago with all the crime happening, and you know, it all stems from home. Charity begins at home. It don't end abroad, but it continues. So with peace within and at the home, it can project outside as an individual.
I want to encourage all of us to actively think about what we do every day. Actively think about every single conversation that we have, every single email that we send, every single whatever that we do to ensure that it is one that engenders and cultivates peace.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Yeah! We love Tobago Carnival!
Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, it's rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, Ritual takes on new space and dimension.
traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Every time, every time, every time, every single time.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a band, say thanks for favor. To wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. 3 young women, Aaliyah Williams, 20, Makeda Fraser, 23, and Patrice Webb lost their lives in a fatal car accident. The accident occurred early last Saturday morning when a Nissan Latio driven by Dijon Duki collided with a Mitsubishi Lancer driven by Kino Kerr. Both vehicles were heavily damaged. Williams, Fraser, and Webb died on the spot, while Duki, Kerr, and another passenger, Ricardo Toussaint, were hospitalized with serious injuries. Road Safety Coordinator Ben Batson noted the national road death toll for 2024 has reached 88, surpassing last year's figure at 85. Today, the Senate will commence its debate on the 2024-2025 budget at the Red House, Port of Spain. Finance Minister Colin Inbert presented a $59.7 billion budget to the House of Representatives on September 30th, with the House approving it on October 17th. Since the Senate is not authorized to vote on money bills, the debate will conclude without a committee review or vote. Following the Senate's deliberations, the budget will proceed to the President, Christine Kangaloo, for assent and formal proclamation in law. No House sittings are scheduled for this week. And finally, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine criticized mothers for contributing to rising crime by not holding their sons accountable and benefiting from illegal activities. Speaking at Tobago's Diwali celebration, Augustine emphasized the need for light or positive values to return to homes and communities to curb crime. He urged Tobagonians to foster a moral environment where crime cannot thrive. However, founder of the NGO Women of Substance, Onika Maz, criticized Augustine for focusing only on mothers, calling for fathers to also be held accountable. Tobago has recorded 25 murders this year, surpassing last year's total of 14. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Now we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this. See you soon, guys.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Are you an architect or draftsman looking to upgrade your skills, or a beginner eager to master essential tools? ReCAD Labs has the solution. Our Revit Architecture Fundamental Tobago course is designed to boost your skills and confidence. Running from October 6th to November 17th, this course includes a live session on November 17th for hands-on learning. Learn from experts in our virtual classroom and stay ahead in the world of architecture. Visit recadlabs.com to enroll now and follow us on social media for updates.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor, to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Now, this morning we are talking about a lot of things that are happening on the political scene and more. But to have this interesting conversation with me this morning, I have the honor of sitting in studio with the Honorable Ayanna Webster Roy, who is the minister in the ministry, in the office of the Prime Minister, and also responsible for Gender and Child Affairs, NACC, and CAS. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Chanel.
Now, it's a pleasure to have you in studio with us this morning. We know that you are extremely busy, so taking time off to come and sit in studio, we truly appreciate it. And giving Tobagonians an opportunity to hear what you have been up to. You know, you hear comments like, we're not hearing from the two Tobago representatives. They've been silent on a number of issues. So this morning you are here to, voice your opinion on a number of things, as well as give us an update. But when it comes to the allocation that Tobago has been given in this 2024-2025 budget, I listened to your budget presentation and I heard, you as well as your colleague for Tobago West, just indicating that everyone would like to have more.
And that's the reality.
Right? Everyone would like to have more. And you think that Tobago's ability to develop and accomplish a number of its goals has more to do with better management, less corruption, and less petty politics. Tell us a bit about that.
And I stand by that. Good morning again to you, Chanel, and good morning to Tobago and the viewing and listening audience. You quoted me quite well when you said that I noted that everybody would like more, and that is the reality. In preparation for the budget, we have the opportunities to meet with the Minister of Planning and Development as ministers, and you pitch a case, you outline your plans for the coming fiscal year, and you advocate. And then you have the opportunity to meet as a team with the Minister of Finance as well as the Minister of Planning and Development, and again, you have the opportunity to advocate. But as I said in the budget as well, it's a small pie, and we all have to benefit from it equitably. I think Tobago's allocation is quite reasonable given our current revenue situation, and I believe that we can achieve a lot with the allocation. We just have to be very prudent in our management of the resources. And I used an example during the budget debate. I spoke about at CAS what we would have been doing, and I noted that for consecutive years, we didn't have a line item for a very critical program that I'm passionate about, and that is our July-August internship program, where we provide an opportunity for young Tobagonians to get on-the-job experience and earn some money to help them prepare for going back to school. And I said, even though we don't have a line item, every year since that program started, we have reprioritized our program. realigned our resources, and found ways to ensure that we create this opportunity every year. A minimum of 20 Tobagonians benefiting. Sometimes we get less participating, but a minimum of 20 persons are catered for. And that is what we do. We try to ensure that the limited resources we have, we stretch it, we use it to the best of our ability. For example, again, at CAS, we don't get a large allocation for the non-profit institution vote. But we make sure that the organizations, the individuals that approach us for funding, we explain to them, this is what we have, and this is how we can help. And we try as much as possible to reach as many organizations across Tobago with the limited resources and the allocation that we receive. So again, I stand by what I said. It is a reasonable allocation given our current economic situation. We just have to make sure that we manage and manage well, reprioritize, look for what is most critical for the development of your people, and channel the resources there efficiently and effectively.
Excellent. And when it comes to some of the ideas that the THA has for development, let's just look at one project, for example, improving housing by, building more affordable housing for young professionals and young persons. How can a dream like that be actualized across different divisions with such a limited budget?
Okay.
And are those projects that you support?
Yes. So you mentioned housing, and housing is critical, especially for young professionals in Tobago. We all dream of owning our own home. And yes, there's a place and a role for the THA to provide those opportunities, either through the provision of lands or the provision of housing units, or even maybe the opportunity for rent to own. That is not something I've heard happening a lot in Tobago, where we give persons the opportunity to own a home through our rent to own program. But that is something that is done in Trinidad. And Chanel, we are Tobagonians. We know we like to design our own space. We want to inform what our dream house will look like. So in a lot of instances, a Tobagonian says, well, give me the land and I go build.
Yeah.
And there has been tremendous support from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, helping Tobagonians to realize that dream. Just recently, there was a grants distribution in Tobago. And I remember the day after, I would have accompanied Minister Leons visiting some of the recipients. And a young lady said, she said, the money that I got, the start that I got from the Ministry of Housing Development, that's through the Home Construction Subsidy Program and the Home Improvement Subsidy Program. She said the start that I received from that program took me from the ground to where I am today. And she said, by faith, because I'm expecting another tranche, it will take me from here. And she pointed up. She was going another story. So there are opportunities for Tobagonians to benefit, not just only through the THA's housing program, but also from the support available through the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, through, as I mentioned, the Home Construction Subsidy Program, as well as the Home Improvement Subsidy Program. I just want to make one other point. I've always stressed, and it's something that I hold passionate and near and dear to my heart, the fact that as Tobagonians, we are very fortunate to benefit from two bites of the cherries. When I'm in Trinidad and I see, okay, Trinidadians are limited to this, but in Tobago, we could benefit from a program from the central government and a similar program from the THA. And I often say, I don't know if we as Tobagonians realize how blessed we are, how fortunate we are that we can access both resources from central government and the resources available through the Tobago House of Assembly.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was just about to ask, do you think that it's an issue of insufficient communication with Tobagonians to allow them to know that these programs are accessible to them as well? Because there is the mindset that there's a mindset that you go to the THA for what you want in a lot of these cases.
It's not a matter of communication, Chanel. Because I'm a minister, yes, but I'm an elected representative, the member of parliament for Tobago East. And you would communicate. I remember the last public meeting we had in Belgrade, and I said to Tobago East in particular that we must be seekers of information, and when opportunities are presented, we must accept the opportunities. So sometimes we create a platform for persons to get information and they wouldn't turn up. They would reserve a space and they wouldn't turn up. And I gave the example on the platform of wanting to see Tobago East develop business and commerce and to start driving our local economy. And I indicated on that platform then that we got the support of a business group in Tobago, Robley Baines Accountancy. They didn't have to offer their services to the constituency office to provide a 3-series workshop for free. Persons registered. I took money out of my own pocket to provide catering. And if 40 persons registered and the day before confirmed that they were going to turn up, if 12 came or 20 came, we had a lot. Tobagonians, a lot. And I've said it from since 2015. We don't look or accept information for personal growth and development. But give it back an and commerce, it would spread like wildfire. And I want to use the opportunity again to encourage Tobagonians to really seek out information for your personal growth and development. Forget the politics, because some people say, me and like Ayana, so me ain't going to the forum. You don't like me, but come and benefit from it. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we are all collectively responsible for the development of Tobago. And what Tobago looks like in the future is dependent on what we do now, today. We have to ensure that we give up our best, we access the opportunities and the resources, make the best use of it so that we create a better Tobago for our children and our children's children.
But the reality of the matter is, with the allocation given for development, projects like the housing projects are not possible.
They could be a start. They could be a start. What is stopping us from saying, okay, we have XYZ allocation, we mightn't be able to do 200, but at least we could get 5 done or 10. We could have impact maybe 20 families instead of the 100. What is stopping us from starting? I don't like the victim mentality. And that's why, I know it might sound harsh, but that is why I look at it. I'm very frank. If this is what I'm given, okay, let me see how I can make the best out of it. And I go back. Even at Gender and Child Affairs, there are programs that we wanted to run. And I mean, we always get in licks because a child get injured, a child hurt, they're not the minister. A woman gets killed, they're not the minister. There are programs that we wanted to do, and we had to reprioritize. And then we said, okay, well, if we might not be able to get all the funding through our allocation, let's leverage our relationship with bodies. We have received tremendous support from UN agencies at Gender and Child Affairs to roll out a number of initiatives. And for example, there's a national strategic action plan to end gender-based violence and sexual violence in Trinidad and Tobago, 2023 to 2027. The technical support that went into getting this thing off the ground was done with tremendous support through the UN system, UN Women in particular, and under the Spotlight Initiative. And there are opportunities for the THA to leverage those same relationships to see, okay, they may not give you money to build a house, but they may give you support and technical support and so on to do programs for human capital development. And I think more than ever, it's the infrastructure development that we need in Tobago right now, because I'm being very honest, we need to build up people.
And I believe that was the theme for the last THA budget.
And that is that is good, because that is what we need. We need to build Tobagonians. We need to change the mindset. Tobagonians need to stop looking at ourselves as victims, but recognize our inherent ability to thrive, to be resilient, and to be productive. And go back to the good old days where Tobagonians really went out and worked hard. People come and ask for jobs, right? And you might go out of your way to create this opportunity. And then when they get the opportunity, they're not productive. Because I saw a fellow on the road that time and I asked him, I said, but you ain't doing anything? Mr. Fally, give me that work here, you know. That's the response. But because you get the work, that means you're not going to give your best. Because you are given the opportunity, you're supposed to respect that opportunity and give it your best. And that is what we need to be, a change in mindset. We need to be going to really start being better, doing better. We could really transform Tobago and make Tobago a force to be reckoned with within the Caribbean.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to be back right after this. See you soon.
energy fill the sky.
Tobago Carnival is just around the corner, and Bethel Credit Union has you covered. Whether you're prepping for costumes, parties, giveaways, or a staycation, it's all within your reach with our Carnival loan sale. For as little as $900 a month, yes, $900 a month, you can get the funds you need to make this Carnival season unforgettable. At Bethel Credit Union, we're here to make your celebration dreams a reality. Visit us today or call 639-8226 for more information. Normal lending criteria applies because we see you at BCU.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Now, we have been chatting with the Honorable Minister Ayanna Webster Roy, and we have been talking a bit about the budget allocation and, Tobagoans' ability to tap in and truly benefit from programs that happen both in Trinidad and in Tobago. Now, you indicated that had Tobago or should Tobago support the autonomy bill, that we would see a greater allocation from the national budget, although it's a small pie. But the question remains, if Tobago is to get 6.8% roughly, where would the money come from if the reason why we're only getting 4.3% now is because it just isn't enough?
Well, the 6.8% of the pie might turn out to be the same amount that we're getting now, because if the pie remains the same, if there isn't any increase, if we're not generating enough revenue, then the money, even though it might sound more, may not be able to meet the demands. That's why I keep stressing the fact that we need to be very strategic in the way we roll out our programs, and we have to prioritize. That is crucial. But beyond the allocation, for me, that's not why I'm fully in support of this bill, It's the opportunities it presents for Tobago to be in charge of Tobago's destiny. The fact that Tobago now would have greater autonomy over our own affairs and our business. The fact that Tobago now would be able to say, okay, this is our growth trajectory. This is where we want to go, and this is how we are going to do it. We're going to have a greater say in everything in Tobago. So, for example, we're going to have our own service commission. We know of the challenges that exist now. So, for me, supporting the bill is not about the money. It's about all the other surrounding factors that will lead towards a new Tobago.
All
That is part I'm passionate about.
Before you go further, I will allow you to continue on
Yeah.
that trajectory. But when it comes to the Tobago Service Commission, I remember a senior public servant saying Tobagonians are Tobagonians' worst enemy.
Oh, Lord.
So even with the level of autonomy over the Service Commission, there are some Tobagonians that may tell you, I prefer someone who doesn't know me to deal with my employment stuff. You know, just because of stuff like, you know, people being vindictive and spiteful when it comes to dealing with persons' appointments.
So we're not going to change?
How do we balance having, you know, independent and proper oversight within these organizations to ensure that persons feel safe?
But that's it. It's up to us as Tobagonians. You said it. She said she would prefer that somebody else, right? Because of vindictiveness, spite, the pettiness. But isn't that something that we could change as Tobagonians? Can't we endeavor to be better versions of ourselves? And that same issue came up recently. I had an activity for men in my constituency. And they noted that the fact that they wanted a safe space where they could come and talk to people, right? But to have a safe space and to talk to people, it means that each individual must decide to be professional one. I don't have to like, you know, but I have to do my work professionally. I have to respect the fact that I'm holding an office and this is what the office demands. And that is something that Trinidadians can't bring and change for us. That is something that Tobagonians have to do for themselves. So what is stopping us from saying, okay, going forward, we're going to put professionalism first. And every individual in Tobago going to look at the eye instead of the outside.
As ideal as that might be.
No, but what's stopping us, Chanel? Tell me, what's stopping us?
I have no idea. I guess it's just our culture.
You know what? You know what
the
problem is? Because too many people in positions of influence not saying it enough. We prefer to hold Tobagonians at a level below the potential to maintain a voter base, to maintain power and control. But if we start speaking to Tobagonians and let them recognize the power and the authority that they have over themselves, then we could start transforming the space. We can start transforming the space.
You were talking about a number of the areas that would benefit Tobagonians in the bill.
Right. Another thing I saw pointed out in terms of Tobago and the way we could improve with the autonomy bill is the way how the child care and protection sector would work. And one of the areas I saw that was identified is the way how the Children's Authority will operate. Even though we now operate with a decentralized model and we have operations in Tobago, under the new arrangement, the teacher will have a greater say in that. One of the things I want to caution is that we have to ensure that whatever we do going forward, that Tobago's children benefit fully and they are not left behind, and that we do not let what we consider our cultural norms to create opportunities for Tobago's children to be hurt in any way. I will leave it like that, and I think you know what I'm hinting at.
Understood. When it comes to the report that was generated under your ministry in regards to child protection, there were a number of damning revelations that came out in regards to what were happening in regards to child abuse in the homes.
It was spanned years of allegations of abuse. That report, the one you're referring to, would have been the most recent one, and that would have been an investigation that we would have commissioned through Justice Judith Jones. Coming out of that investigation, a report was submitted to the Office of the Prime Minister. A decision was taken to establish an interagency task force to prioritize the recommendations within the report. There were about over 200 recommendations. One of the key things that would have happened since then was the establishment of what we call a standing committee on child protection. That committee comprises ministers, the deputy permanent secretaries, as well as key agencies. So we have on the Standing Committee on Child Protection the Tobago House of Assembly, represented by the Chief Administrator, as well as the Administrator in the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, as well as the Division of Education, Research and Technology. Got it correct, right? We also have the judiciary on the Standing Committee on Child Protection. Approximately 72 to 82% of the action items would have been implemented or would have been completed or we are currently implementing. I am happy to note that even though we still have gaps within the system, there has been significant improvement. So, for example, one of the weaknesses that would have been identified was the fact that we had not yet proclaimed a specific section of the Act, and that was done. And in order to help the homes to get themselves ready for proclamation, we would have received monies in the last fiscal year to help them to do infrastructure work, those that needed infrastructure work done, and that was done, and all the homes are now licensed. Obviously, there will be a period for review and all of that as well. Another key thing coming out of that is the review of the Children's Authority, and I mentioned that in my budget presentation. Over the years, the Children's Authority would have received a lot of leaks, sometimes deservedly, right? But what we are trying to do now is to really examine the authority to see if this model is the best model for Trinidad and Tobago, if this is reaping what we want for our nation's children, because the authority caters to some of the most vulnerable boys and girls in Trinidad and Tobago. As I said, we leverage relationships. I want to mention one thing. We have a consultant that would be funded by an agency for us, right? The funding is going to come through the Canadian government, and they're going to fund the consultant to undertake that review of the Children's Authority for us. Once we complete that review, then we know, okay, is it an issue of not enough staff, not enough facilities, or is it that we have too many people on the payroll, enough facilities, but we're just not managing properly? Or is it that we need to do away with the Children's Authority altogether and maybe look at another
model?
Yeah.
You indicated that one of the bigger focuses was the transition out of the homes.
Yeah.
How to help transition these young persons into society. Can you tell us a bit about that and what is happening now?
Yes. So, in the last fiscal, we had received funding for a specific project, and under that, we started looking at some of the boys and girls who were leaving the homes, and we did that. Through a whole of government approach, we are looking to see how best we could ensure that whenever our boys and our girls leave our institutions, that they are fully integrated into society. So we did, in this fiscal, we intend to do a tracer study, looking at those persons we worked with in the last fiscal and see where they're at. One of the things that we have earmarked for this fiscal as well is the establishment of a hostel, because we recognize sometimes when they leave, families either don't want them back, or the communities are not the best communities for them to re-enter. So establishment of hostels, etc. The Ministry of Youth Development and National Service also has that facility available, providing hostel spaces. We know we have Josephine Shaw, that's for women. There are a number of different ones they're going to establish as well. I like to tell people what we are doing. So because might say, well, we're not saying gender doing, but it's not just operating in silo. It's a whole of government.
Because there is that program under the Ministry of Youth, the Agriculture Development program. So young persons encouraged to make that seamless transition.
Definitely, yes.
These type
and
of
the
programs.
Ministry also, because the Ministry is part of the Standing Committee. So whenever we are discussing, okay, projects and programs, the ministries work together. So we say, well, okay, we're not going to prioritize this on the Standing Committee. We're going to work with this instead. So Ministry of Youth Development and National Services there. Ministry of Sport and Community Development, because they do a lot of work in terms of community mediation. We have the Ministry of Education there as well. I mentioned the judiciary. One of the projects we have carried for this fiscal year is a review of preventative programs. How can we prevent our boys and girls from ending up in homes in the first place?
Correct.
What exists? Are they working? Do we need more programs, less programs? Do we need to strengthen what we currently have? And that is one of the activities that we have for this fiscal again, coming out of that Standing Committee on Child Protection that brings together various ministries and agencies, all in the best interest of our nation's children.
Something that stood out to me about your presentation is that you highlighted partnerships that you did with members of the opposition.
Yeah.
And how successful, well, not successful, but, how beneficial it was to collaborate with them, and now being in the stage of being about to implement a number of those ideas and projects. It means that you have taken a holistic approach apart from politics to ensure that the work is being done. So in that very same vein, I want to know if you have had those similar conversations with the THA to have some similar projects implemented in Tobago.
Chanel, that is nothing new. That is nothing new. I've always maintained that once we're in position of leadership, then not just yourself or your party, it's the wider community. And what best way to build Trinidad and Tobago by first demonstrating it within the House of Parliament, that yes, we could reach across the aisle and engage our opponents in the interests of the people. And in Tobago, we had our Women's Village. That's something that Gender and Child, a program of Gender and Child Affairs. Our Women's Village was a response to us trying to create opportunities for economic advancement for women, because we recognize in our homes, and if not necessarily in our domestic violence shelter, other shelters, clients were re-entering either ours or other shelters because they were financially dependent on the perpetrators. So we created the Women's Village. And when we had that segment in Tobago, we worked with the THA. The Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection were integral partners. We had the support of the Division of Community Development. They would have recommended to us persons who would have passed through their craft programs who they think would have been able to benefit. Health would have recommended women who would have benefited from the REACH program, and that's how we do it. Another thing I want to point out, when we were establishing our children's registry, that was a project started on paper by the former government. When we came in, we took it from paper and made it into an actual registry, established that. And I remember reaching across, talking to the secretaries in the THA and getting the support from the Division of Education and getting Tobago's children inputted quickly. And I remember at one of the standing committee meetings recently, the chief, I was going through some of the problems we were having, and she's like, Minister, well, I said, no, I can't blame Tobago this time. I said, yes, Tobago is well on board. We got the information. Right. And it's about building meaningful partnerships. At the end of the day, you often have to look at who it is that you're serving. And for example, the partnership I will mention in the Parliament with the opposition persons, in the previous Standing Finance Committee, they are the ones who said to me, Minister, we note all these programs you have, but sometimes we not work. If we have, I said, well, come to the table and let's discuss and see how we could happen. And some of them took up the opportunity. I mean, and member Anita Haynes-Allen, she came to the meeting. MP Kumutu Mansanela, Dr. Rai Rabbi, he came to the meeting. The member from Moruga Tableland had asked, was invited, she didn't turn up, right? And coming out from that meeting, we were able to partner with the MP for Kumutu Mansanela, his constituency office.
You realize a lot of those rural areas as well have such a big issue where children...
And child abuse. And when he said to me, he said, Minister, he said, we share something in common. We serve rural people. And that resonated with me. And he said, I could develop a program. It might work for me. And if we tweak it, it could work for you. And look at it, it's not just working for him. We adapted the program to suit our national context. And we have been rolling out throughout Trinidad and Tobago. We came to Tobago and introduced it to some of the senior officials of the THA, explaining to them, what is this in the know, and go about how it's going to work. Similarly, with the NSAP, we had discussions with the officials in Tobago, introducing them to the NSAP and how Tobago plays a role in the national response to gender-based violence and sexual violence. And very soon, we are going to be training the staff of the electoral district offices on that same in the know, on the go. To me, at the end of the day, it's the big picture. It's the people. And I often say, I had to live here. I had no place to run and go. I had 3 children I raised in Tobago and in Trinidad and Tobago. And I want the best opportunities for my children and other people's children.
Right. So we want to give the audience an opportunity to ask any questions if they so desire. Now is your time to do so. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to be back as you give us an update on all the plans that you have coming up and projects for Tobago East. See you soon, guys.
I gone. I said, tell them I gone. Don't even bother calling me. Tell them I gone. I said, tell them I gone. Don't even bother calling me. Tell them.
Back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Now we have been having a hearty conversation with the minister, honorable minister, that is Ayanna Webster Roy, who is also the parliamentary representative for Tobago East. And there has been a number of activities that you have been doing. You know, you rattle them off in your speech. But for the persons who were not able to sit and listen to it in its entirety, can you just give them a number of the activities that are happening and that they can be a part of, and some of the things that are coming?
Okay, so one of the things I'm very passionate about in my constituency is an initiative we call Chai and Chat. That is something we established to create a safe space for women to meet, to discuss issues affecting them, and to share ideas, and to grow and build off of each other. Some Chai and Chats have been successful in terms of people turning out, but sometimes people don't turn up. And I want to just encourage women in Tobago East. It's a safe space for us, you know. You don't have to worry. Whatever you say in Chai and Chat stays in Chai and Chat. We learn from each other. I've been able to learn parenting strategies, financial strategies, just from the facilitators and other women who would have attended. We also started something that for the men specifically, I would have mentioned it before, the Hang Jack initiative. I'm hoping to see that grow and not only become a Tobago East initiative, but hoping that the ministry at where I'm at, Gender and Child Affairs, would adopt it, and then make it a national program, creating that safe, fun space for men to meet. And while they're socializing, they also tackle in those issues and, you know, values around what it means to be a man. Also, we have our roving office days. We have our public days. I want to let Tobago East know that every Tuesday and Thursday, we have Netco coming to the constituency office. But persons not coming and making use of Netco, they have grants.
So can we from Tobago West come up to Tobago
But they also in Tobago, your constituency officer. But if it is that you feel that maybe you can't get the time to run in on the days that they're at your constituency office, feel free to come to Tobago East. If Tuesdays and Thursdays are not suitable for you in Tobago East, feel free to run into Tobago West. Netco is there to serve you and to provide opportunities for your growth and development in terms of your business. We partner with a number of agencies. We partner with an NGO in Trinidad, Caribbean Women Honors and Empowerment, TT, where we had the Period Poverty Ends Now initiative for Tobago East. I want to say thank you to Chawi and all the directors for selecting Tobago East to be one of the beneficiaries of that very important initiative. We recognize that period poverty is real and it impacts women and girls in Tobago and in Trinidad and Tobago. We also provide food support for some of our constituents. Let me put a disclaimer, right? Most of the time when we're doing stuff in the constituency office, the money coming out of pocket, so we can't help everybody in a timeline that you want to be helped, but we try as much as possible to help as many constituents as we can.
So if someone wants to reach out to you for a situation that they may feel requires a heightened level of confidentiality, how do you deal with those? Because those are persons who may not necessarily want to go through the division or through social services. They just want to come, have a conversation and let you know the situation.
So persons come and visit me when we have public days, but you wouldn't believe the number of messages I get on my MP page, and I would respond directly to persons and then try to intervene and assist with situations. Persons also reach me at CAST. I mean, when somebody office and a member of the public asks to see me and I'm there, I tell them come have an open door policy. They could come and see me. That's not a problem. So again, if you want to reach out to the Member of Parliament for Tobago East, you can contact the constituency office at 635-0826. You can also message us on our MP page. Also, if you want to see me at CAST, if you're in town anytime and I'm there, feel free to stop by. I'm open, willing to have conversations with the public. And persons also talk to me by telephone. So I had somebody call me from Trinidad recently on a matter, and I said, okay, well, I'm not going to be in Trinidad for a while, and we had a conversation by the telephone. So I'm open and available to persons whenever.
And the number for persons to contact would be?
My personal number?
No, you're the constituency office.
635-0826, yeah. But I think the whole of Tobago have my number already because it's the same number from ComDev.
Okay, understood. So, I mean, we have to round up this morning's discussion. It was a really hearty discussion. We are happy that you took the time out to come into studio and have this conversation with us. I mean, one of these statements that you made that ruffled a bit of feathers is that Tobago can do what it needs to do with the allocation that it has been given.
And I strongly stand by that, Chanel.
All right.
I strongly
stand by that. You heard it here, guys. She stands by everything that she says. So, we want to thank you. We want to thank our audience for being a part of this discussion. Now, we are not ending here. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to be back right after this. See you soon.
A brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say, thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is.
Attention soldiers, are you ready for the ultimate mission for Tobago Carnival? It's time to gear up for Army Fed Operation Rocks Glow.
I feel like I'm running tongue again. No place like home. Pull up in the center, pull up in the center,
We're taking the vibes out to the countryside, where a premier cast of live entertainment will be pumping all night long. Army Fed Operation Rocks Glow. Join us on Thursday, 24th October at the Sid Grace Sporting Complex, Roxborough, for the high-energy Wear White Soca Bashment Rocks Glow. Army Fed Tobago. Operation Rocks Glow.
Hey, the biggest and sexy. Now here what's going on. You see this section? It makes me feel to move. You know why? It's called Pina Colada. I like Pina Colada. Oh.
there for angels the girl them crave for. They really need you too when you play with
Oh my goodness, and as the name says, it is as creamy as it's sweet.
you. Never wanna leave cause the drinks them running for throw. Cause I really feel a vibe every time I say right down and up and like this, man, it's nothing like this. Not you be like you for angel, me say something and nobody like you. And every single time we touch, you know I never stop.
This is pina colada, something nice with a little bit of spice, and of course, not once, but we're gonna do it twice.
Cruise make the border. Say whoa.
We are on the road with pina colada. Boom, boom.
Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates All Day. Vibe is heating up in studio as we prepare one of our contestants for that Tobago Soca Monarch. We have Sharon Phillips in studio, and listen, she already brought the vibe during the break, and we're still here and we're swaying because she already created that energy. Talk about that. That's going to be her presentation as she is number 3 in the lineup on Thursday at Magdalena Grand Hotel. Now, guys, without further ado, I don't think this one needs a lot of introduction because we already started swaying in the studio, right?
Yes.
So, without further ado, we have Sharon Phillips. We'll talk about that.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I come for the bacchanal. All the things they are afraid to say, not me. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. Listen, tell me what going on in my country. This was once a place of peace and pride, where the patriotism that used to fill we. This was one sweet land of paradise, but now it's a battlefield. You can't wear your gold chain or boom is off with your head. You fight till you succeed, and as a jealous brethren will cut you down in your bed. Oh Lord, I hear the mothers bawling while the streets are painted in red. And as the criminal elements get in bail, we keep in wait for all we dead, but we can't talk about that. Where the police commissioner, we talk about that. Cause while you're keeping prayers, girl, it's another murder. Come talk about that. Even the Bible said prayers without works is pure failure. I say talk about that. Let we talk about that. Whoa, yeah, Miss Commissioner, whoa, yeah. Easy access, the youth and them have easy access to the gun them, whoa. Whoa. Tell me what going on in the family. The foundation of life is yours to mold. But somehow you drop the ball with all your picnic. And like you're breeding demons for this world. Cause how could your daughter, who just in second form, be with a man who is 32? He on bail for manslaughter. Have she acting porn and like you don't know what next to do? While Sodom and Gomorrah has become with new attitude. Like you forget who the gods choose to destroy. Let us really send mad for true, but we can't talk about that. Them parents not parenting no more, let we talk about that. You choose to throw God and morals out the door, talk about that. And now you want to gentle parent and spoil them more, talk about that. Parents we can't talk about, we can't talk about that. Boy, mothers and fathers, boy, I'm talking to everybody in the nation this morning. Easy access to the TV and tablet, now they're disrespectful, boy. I would tell me what's going on with my leaders. Parliament was once a sacred space. On national issues, you're the gatekeepers. But of late, your behavior is a disgrace. Cause how you gonna talk out when it's propaganda become an irrelevance, and then you go walk out on legislation against the gang violence. I said the people fed up with you, opposing for opposing sake, and this good land you want to lead without a contribution to make us say you can't talk about that. Big tune.
Come on. That was amazing. I mean, I guess I can't be biased because the competition hasn't started yet, but all right.
The song's so hot.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new